Alright, hi guys. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to run a CraftBukkit server on a Mac. Alright, so let's get started. First, in Finder, we're going to go File, New Folder. We're going to create a new folder. You can call it CraftBukkit or something like that. It really doesn't matter what you name it, whatever you want. Alright, that's how you spell bucket for this type of server. Alright, so there's our CraftBukkit folder right there. Alright, next thing we need to do is we need to go to a website where you download the server from. And this website will be in the description. So here we go to the website, we're going to go to build history, and it looks like the latest version is 450. You don't need to get the latest version, and most plugins will still run on lower versions, so it's up to you, but normally you get the latest version. And the next thing you need to check is make sure it's a successful build. That's a success. If it's red, it means it's not. Don't download the ones that are red, or don't say unsuccessful. Alright, so to download that, we're going to click here. Alright, so there's an old one. Don't need that. There it is right there. Alright, get out of here. Alright, then we're going to take it out of downloads, and then drag it into the CraftBukkit. Open up the CraftBukkit, and then this is optional, but I would recommend it. Just makes the name look cleaner. Just edit the name and delete this snapshot and all these numbers, and just make it craftbukkit.jar. There we go. Alright, just like that. Alright, the next thing we're going to want to do, open up text edit. There we go. And then first thing in text edit, go to format, make plain text. And I actually already have a bucket start command, so I'm going to just copy and paste this one. Alright, there it is there. So I'm going to copy and get out of there. Get out of there. Good. And we'll just paste this here. Alright, and I'll teach you about this start command real quick. This is a Mac only start command. This will only run for Macs. This is the only start command that will run for Macs. Alright, so these two lines, no matter what Mac you're running on, should always be the same. This line could differ though, right here. Alright, what this is saying is how much RAM you're giving it, what file you're opening up, and if you have a GUI or not. So your RAM, that depends on your system. Like on this computer, I'll show you. I have 4 gigabytes of RAM right here. That's how you figure it out on Mac. 4 gigabytes of RAM. So you don't want to exceed or meet this amount of gigabytes. See, that's why I put 2 gigabytes on here. See, if you exceeded or actually gave it 4 gigabytes of RAM, you couldn't open any of this stuff because all the RAM would be put into the server. You couldn't do anything else. So you don't really ever want to put in exactly how much RAM you have or exceed it. So I just put in 2 gigabytes. I mean, you could run it off 1 gigabyte. You can run it off half a gigabyte if you wanted to. I mean, it's really up to you. I mean, and what your system is capable of. So that's what that is. When I post this down here, I'll post it as 1 gigabyte because I don't want to exceed some computers' limits. But you can change that here by changing the number in there. But make sure it's an exact number of how many gigabytes. So for 1 gigabyte, it should be something like 1024. And then 2 gigabytes says 2048, something like that. M, capital M, in both spots, here and there. Alright, next, this is important too. Here, if you remember, we changed the name of that to craftbukkit.jar. Here it says craftbukkit.jar. If you left that with the numbers and the snapshot, you need to change the start command and add those numbers in the snapshot exactly as they appear here. That and that need to be exactly matched. And then the GUI, if you don't understand the GUI, it's not a really big deal. If you don't understand it, then just leave no GUI. It won't make a big difference to the server. Alright, next we're going to save. Alright. And then make sure you can save it whatever you want. I'll just name it start. But you need to make sure you put .command. That's important. That's saying it's not a like Word document file. It's actually going to start the server. It's actually going to do something. So .command, and then save it. You can save it to your desktop or something like that. And then we can get rid of that. And then what? You need to take it off your desktop and put it in the folder where your craftbukkit.jar is. So we're going to put it in the craftbukkit folder. Alright, next thing we're going to want to do is open up terminal. So get terminal up. Then we're going to type in chmod space A plus X space. So that is chmod space A plus X space. That will be down in the description too. And then once we do that, I'm going to open up this folder again. We're going to take our start command here. We're going to take it, we're going to drag it in here and drop it. And then we're going to hit enter. That's saying that this has permission to access this file and run it. That's what we just did there. Alright, we can get rid of this terminal now. Alright. So now we are ready to actually start the server. You don't click this. This isn't how you start it. That's our actual server. To start the server, we double click this, the start command. There we go, double clicked it, it's starting. All these warnings are going to come up because it's your first time. It's going to generate all these files here. And that's what all those warnings are saying. It's generating the files. The preparing spawn area is going to take extra long this time because it's the first time ever doing, starting the world. And then, there we go. It's ready. And on, since this one doesn't have an IP in it, this one I won't actually do anything right now. So let's just stop that. STOP. That's how you always stop a server. If you don't do that, it won't save. So you always want to save it. STOP. Stop. Alright, we can close that. You just get rid of that. Quit terminal. Alright, the next thing you're going to do is we're going to want to edit server properties. So double click server properties. The first thing you want to do is get your private IP address. That's going to be your server IP. Now, for the most of us, it's going to be whatever our computer says. So the easiest way to find it on our computer, go to terminal, type in ifconfig, hit enter, and this is all your internet, data, everything about your internet's on here. That's your server IP right there. That's mine right there. All right. So that's just your private IP address. Okay. That's the IP address you're going to be connecting to if you're on the same internet that the server's running on. So we're going to take that, paste it into server IP, and then that's your server IP. This is your server port. This is the default port for Minecraft. This should always be left the same unless, of course, you change, unless you have more than one server. The way server properties works is just a true-false thing, spawn animals true, false, whatever you want to do. This is important too, online mode. If you have friends, or if you are running on the Minecraft SP, or the hacked and modded Minecraft one, the paid one that you actually get for free, it's called Minecraft SP. If you have that, you need to change that to false, okay? Or else you won't be able to connect to it. Alright, so there we go. So save that. And then what we're going to want to do is that's good for now, so let's just try it out and make sure it works, make sure we can connect. So double click the start command, and it's starting the server, and it started. See how quick that was? Didn't have to prepare all that region. Alright, now what we need to do, go into Minecraft. Alright, go into Minecraft. Good. And then what we're going to want to do is go into multiplayer. And then this is our server IP. This has to be this IP that you put into server properties. So you get this IP that you put into server properties, you type it in here with all the dots and everything, and then you click connect, and we are in the server. As you can see, this is a server. The first time you're on, it's going to be a bit shaky, a bit laggy. It's going to start spawning things, start generating stuff. Alright. So now we are in the server. Everything seems to be working fine. As you can see here, it says sniping kills logged in. That's my IP address, the same as the server. And then logged in with entry ID, all that stuff. Alright. And this is for Minecraft beta version 1.3_01. So that's the latest version right now. And I think I'm dead. Oh, no, very close. Don't step on cactuses. Alright. Anyway, so this is the latest version of Minecraft as of February 25th, 2011. Which is version 1. That right there. And then we were running on craftbukkit version 450. And by this time, I would guess that a new version of Bukkit would have come out by the time you watch this video. So, stay tuned for my other videos. In my other videos, I'll explain how to run plugins, how to edit your server properties more, how to do port forwarding. That's a very big trip up for a lot of people. So, alright, so stay tuned.